Instead, let's take a passion to the sheets and just go crazy. You can be as wild as you want that night. You ain't gotta be a lady.
I'm back. I'm back. So, I'm not on time. I'm late. Again. Shit been crazy. So, don't worry. This week is going to be kind of wild. I plan on giving you guys 2 pods this week. I know. 2. Hopefully, I don't run out of shit to speak about. But I'm pretty opinionated, so I think we'll be just fine. So, let's start with the wild world of dating apps. Dating apps are everywhere. Well, really, they're only one place, right? Our cell phones. Maybe they're on the computer too, but I don't know anybody on the computer doing dating apps. Everybody I know is doing it on the phone. There's all types of dating apps. So, we're going to speak more specifically about dating app algorithms. I don't know why, but a lot of times the dating apps are completely ignoring your preferences, which is weird because they all ask you what your preferences are. I ain't even intro. Oh man. My bad, y'all. I'm so ready to just get into this shit. I forgot. I'm JD. This is the Sexual Intellectual Podcast, and we're getting right into these dating apps. Dating app algorithms, dating apps not giving a fuck about our preferences. That's what I want to talk about. All the dating apps ask you questions. The idea is that it helps filter out who they suggest to you, who they pair you up with, who they quote unquote match you up with. They ask you all type of stuff. How far is okay for someone? How far is it okay for someone to live? It's going to be a wild one if I keep talking that shitty. So they ask you, for example, is 50 miles too far? And a lot of them you can kind of play with this toggle bar where you can change how you want it to go. 5 miles, 10 miles, all the way, whatever. Every app has difference, right? And then they ask you, what are you looking for? So, for example, they'll say, what is your sexual preference? It says, for example, I am a man looking only for women. And a lot of the apps now have multiple different options, which I think is great. It should be inclusive. It should be a way that everyone can find whatever it is they're looking for. And they ask you all these questions. Some are more specific than others. I've seen some apps that ask you about the person's body type, about their age. Some apps ask about religion. It really depends on what you're on. And so I see that all the apps ask different questions. But I talk to a lot of my friends and single people who are on dating apps, and it seems like the apps don't give a fuck what your preferences are. They ask you all that shit, and then it's like, well, you put in straight man only looking for women. Well, here's a couple. All right, that's gangster. You put in straight man only looking for women. Here's a man. Here's 2 men that are a couple. What? I don't understand. And I'm trying to make this so you guys understand that this is not just about me. I have lady friends on dating apps, I have guy friends on dating apps. And there's a lot of interesting feedback about the dating apps. And so I thought we should discuss it because it's really weird that they ask you all this shit, you put in all your preferences, and then they just suggest whatever the fuck they want. I don't know if this is, excuse me, I don't know if this is because they truly don't give a fuck. I don't know if it's because they don't have enough people who fit the preferences that you've said you have. Because even distance, right? Like I started with distance. Sometimes it asks you how far is your limit. And so let's say you put 10 miles, it'll still show you someone like, oh yeah, 100 miles away. Huh? What? What do you mean? 100 miles? If I set it to only 10 miles, You're going to give me 100 miles away? Why? So I don't know. I wish I had answers. I would love to be able to tell you guys why this is happening. I don't know why, but I know it's happening. And it's weird because, whatever, it's not the end of the world if you're a woman seeking only men and a woman pops up on the screen, then you just say no or swipe left or whatever. Every app is different. But it is kind of weird because they ask you all of these questions when you first get on the dating app. When you first sign up, they ask you all this shit. And you can even go check preferences. All right, now I'm going to bring it to me personally. I know I was on one app. I won't say what app. But one time I was on this app and they were suggesting all the wrong stuff according to what I put in. I thought I was bugging out. I know sometimes I'm sleepy and just kind of on the app looking on my phone. I said, did I fuck around and change what's on the app? Did I fuck around and change my preferences by accident on sleep time? You know, was I getting my nod off on? Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe I put man seeking man by accident half asleep. But I checked the preferences and everything was still the same. And let me be clear. I'm not knocking anyone's preferences. In fact, I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to say I think it's weird that the apps are saying fuck our preferences. Because whatever it is you're seeking, that's the point of the app. To make it easier for you to find these things, these people, these preferences. But not if they're not helping us. Not if they're saying, oh well, too bad. I know you said you're a man seeking men, but here are two women who are a couple. Huh? What? ¿Qué? Why is this happening? I don't know. I would love to know, has this happened to you before? Have you ever been on a dating app and your preferences that you put in and save and checked, they just didn't give a fuck about any of it? They just completely suggested everything but those preferences? I just want to know if it happened to y'all. If it did, please put in the comments, let me know. If this never happened to you, let me know too. I'd love to hear from you. Now, we're going to dive into a similar topic. I'd like to talk about love. Love at first sight. Because I could be wrong, but I think C19 ruined it. I mean, hear me out. Maybe less now. But I think for the last 2 years, it's been kind of hard to find love at first sight. You know what I'm talking about. Some people believe that you can just see a person and, man, they're so awesome. They're so fly that that's it. Like magic. Like a Disney movie. You are enamored and engulfed in love from the moment you saw this person. Nothing else was needed. Right in your heart of hearts, Cupid aimed, and hit you. And now, it's love. But I feel like C19 ruined it. So of course, you know it's time for You Ruined It. And shout out to the person who told me that last couple pods, I haven't said you ruined it. I forgot. Whoops. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jip y'all. I'll make sure I say you ruined it from now on. So, yeah, hear me out. Love at first sight. I got to see you. You got to see me. They've got to see each other. But not if we like this. For those who are listening audio only, I'm covering my face to try to prove a point. How can it be love at first sight if I don't know what the fuck you look like? If you don't know what the fuck I look like, I could have walked past my wife. I couldn't even get it out. Sorry. But just feel me. What if you walked past your person, but they ain't know they was your person? You ain't know they were your person because they were masked up. They was masked up, covered to the eyes. Can you be covered up and still be someone's love at first sight? I don't know. I ask y'all. Y'all let me know. Did it ruin it? Am I ODing? Is it really possible to simply fall in love at the first sight of a mask? I mean, a person? If you pass by someone, do you really know what they look like if they're masked up? Because even if the body looks good and the eyes look beautiful, kind, beautiful eyes, you still don't really know what this person looks like. There is still a face-off. There is still nothing here. You don't know. The masks, the mandates, C-19, you ruined it. Let me know, man. Hey, listen, maybe I'm bugging. I know now nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody gives a fuck. Because Fauci said in April, we at the end of the pandemic. Shrug. Nobody wears them anymore. So maybe now everyone's back to love at first sight. Maybe now all it takes for you to bump into that person again. Hey, you look kind of familiar. But last time you was covered up. Now I see you now. I see you. Maybe now it's easy. But who knows? Y'all let me know. What do you think? Did mask culture, mandates, and C-19 ruin love at first sight? Let me know. Now it's time for my favorite segment today. It's time for
Politics as usual.
That's right. Politics as usual. Well, a few days ago, about a week ago, nigga caught a body about a week ago. Sorry. The top dog, Mr. NIH himself, Dr. Anthony Fauci, tested positive for C-19. Everybody and they mammy has been posting about it. But you know, there's someone they haven't been posting about who has tested positive for COVID on 2 separate occasions within a month. Tested positive for C-19 on 2 separate occasions within a month. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Boop! Right there on the screen for those watching. And now, I'll read a little something for you. Time for the specs. Here we go. This is from CBS News. I try to give y'all different stuff when I read. I don't want to always read from Politico or NPR. Different spots so y'all can see I'm not just relying on one place for the info. But there is an article on Politico that speaks about it as well. In fact, on Politico, they should probably use that as a drop and pay me. Politico Politico. Let me know if you need a little podcast flavor. If you need to get some ads going. Not against it. I like y'all. But they spoke about it in May. So back in May, let's go there first. Why not? So we could give y'all all the stuff you need. This one is from May 18th. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra tested positive for COVID-19 during a trip to Germany for a G7 health summit. Becerra tested positive Wednesday morning ahead of a meeting with other health ministers. Spokesperson Sarah Lovenheim said in a statement. Yo, that's a cool ass name. Lovenheim. That's like McLovin. And McLovin was from a movie. I don't even know who Sarah Lovenheim is, but shout out to her and her family. I don't know if they was born with that name or somebody changed it to it. You know, you could change your name to anything for the right price. But man, I like that name. I don't know shit about her. She could be a terrible person. She could be the greatest person on the planet. I don't know. I just saw the name for the first time and I liked it. Shout out to Sarah Lovenheim, digging that name. He is fully vaccinated and boosted against COVID-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms, she said. Lovenheim added that Becerra last saw President Joe Biden on Thursday. Biden is not considered a close contact as defined by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, said Becerra. She said, whoops. And then they speak about him still doing his duties, yada yada. So, that was May 18th. And so, a few days before, he was traveling, and they speak about that here. Cool beans. Now, let's get up out of there. Let's go back to CBS News. Fast forward to June 13th. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra has tested positive for C-19 less than 30 days since he previously contacted C-19, according to a news release from the department. Becerra tested positive on an antigen test on Monday and is experiencing mild symptoms. He also tested positive for C-19 on May 18th while in Europe and experienced mild symptoms then, HHS said at the time. Quote, this morning in Sacramento, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra tested positive for C-19 after taking an antigen test, an HHS spokesperson said in a statement Monday. Quote, he is fully vaccinated and boosted against C-19 and is experiencing mild symptoms. He will continue to perform his duties as HHS secretary, working in isolation. So I'm assuming a little bit here. Let me take these specs off. I'm assuming a little bit here. But it seems like because the CDC says you got to keep taking rapids until you are good, and then you can be amongst people again. So it seems like, based on the information we've got here, that he tested positive in May, kept testing, he was good, got the green light to go out in the world, and then caught it again. Wow. Maybe next pod, later this week, we should talk about what mild symptoms means when it comes to C-19. Because I see Fauci said he was having mild symptoms, and both times this gentleman had, or I should say has, I mean, today's the 21st. Maybe he's good again. I don't know. It's a couple of days later. But both times, Mr. Becerra had mild symptoms. I think that's really interesting. It seems like he tested positive with two different strains, 2 different times. I don't know what it is, but it seemed like he got sick, healed up, and got sick again. I think that is super interesting. What do y'all think? Are some people, and maybe I shouldn't even ask this, but do we think some people can catch it easier than others. Some people's bodies are more receptive to catching the virus. Do we think that? Do y'all think that? Because like some people, something happens and you catch a cold quick. Be like, man, you was in the rain for about 2 seconds. Like, yeah, I know, and now I'm all sick and my nose is congested and I hate it. Other people could walk in like a hurricane for 3 hours and just be chilling. And maybe rain is not the best example, but y'all know what I'm saying. Some people are more fickle than others when it comes to certain things. I wonder, is C19 similar? As far as I know, neither of the two gentlemen, Fauci or Becerra, have predating, what they call them, preconditions? Man, I'm having a blonde moment. If y'all know what I'm trying to say, put it in the comments. I'm trying to talk about when people have pre-existing conditions. I think they have a different term for it though. Pre-existing conditions when it comes to their immune system. As far as I know, neither one of these gentlemen have it. They're different ages. Fauci's 81, Becerra's a bit younger. I don't think any of them have any pre-existing conditions. I feel like there was another word for it though, but maybe I'm bugging out. But I don't think either one of them have it. So I'm just wondering if Homeboy caught it twice, 2 separate occasions in less than a month or in about a month. Does that mean that some people catch it quicker than others? Some people's bodies are not necessarily immune compromised, but just perhaps more susceptible to catching the virus. What do y'all think? Let me know. Put in the comments. I'd love to know. And that's it. I'm keeping this one short and sweet. Before I go, a quick question. What the fuck happened to Roe versus Wade? We had a leaked document, and then there's been nothing. Anybody know what's going on? Let me know if you do. And so that's it. I'm going to wrap it up because we're going to come back later in the week and do this again. I'll probably have the video out by then. So you'll get the video and the audio the same day, hopefully. You'll get the video for this episode when the next episode drops. I hope y'all with me. I feel like I'm delivering things not my best today. But yeah. So definitely a pod later this week. You can look for it Friday or Saturday for the audio. Hopefully by then this video will be out. I know more people watch it than listen to it. And if you're watching this on Friday or Saturday, be ready. Another pod will be coming out shortly after because I'm trying to stay on point. So this is a makeup pod that should have dropped Friday, the 17th, I think it was, whatever. And that's why we're doing this now. So that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I see that more of y'all are watching. I don't know why, but I appreciate each and every one of you.